Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome into the show. Yet another episode of Crushing Fantasy Football. I am Bryce Lockridge, your host of the show. All right, guys, today I've got a really exciting video for you guys. I'm talking about running backs that are going to absolutely explode in the 2024 season. Now, these are not guys at the top of ADP. They're guys that are going at a range of the draft where you can steal them. They could end up returning literally first or second round overall value, sometimes going as late as the 8th round. So this is how you win fantasy football leagues, guys. I'm here to help you out. And on that note, I want to make an announcement before I get into today's video. I am relaunching my Patreon for this channel. Now, what this is going to get you is it's going to get you personalized breakdowns of your fantasy football teams in season. I'm focused on my in-season exclusive Patreon content. What it's going to be is if you sign up for the Patreon, you are going to be a priority for me as far as answering lineup questions. So any lineup question you have, or if you want trade evaluations, you can ask me an unlimited amount of questions, and I will get back to you within a very short period of time with a personalized podcast answering your questions. So I can do it not just in written form, but literally give you a video and break down every single asset of your team and how I want you to be setting your lineup on a weekly basis, lineup decisions, and trade decisions. So if you want to be a part of that, sign up for the Patreon. I've got the link in the description below. Without any further ado, I'm going to get into today's video. We're going to be talking about running backs that are going to explode. And the first running back that I have right here on my list is Josh Jacobs. Now, if you look at 2 out of the 3 past seasons for Josh Jacobs, he had one really, really good season, and that was 2 seasons ago when he pretty much broke fantasy football. He was the number 1 running back in standard leagues. He was the number 3 running back in PPR leagues. And this is a guy last year who, although the yards per carry efficiency wasn't that good, his opportunity share was insane. He had an 84.9% opportunity share. In today's era of split backfields, that kind of opportunity share is obviously it's incredibly valuable, right? So he was first in the league in opportunity share last year with that 84.9% opportunity share. Now, obviously, he's going into a completely different offense in Green Bay. So are they going to use him the same? They've been notorious for using split backfields, but hey, A.J. Dillon's out for the season. He was the pest that always cut into Aaron Jones's production. So we don't have to worry about him. Marshawn Lloyd's already been a little bit banged up in the preseason. All reports of camp are coming out saying that, hey, this guy is going to come out and be our lead back. He's going to be a 3-down back. He's going to be catching passes on 3rd down. This dude is going to be operating all over the place, right? I mean, this dude is going to be in the backfield on almost every freaking play. This dude is somebody to be very excited about. And we know that he has more of that prototypical workhorse build, weighing 225 pounds. A reason they didn't use Aaron Jones like a workhorse is because he doesn't have the prototypical build. I personally thought they should have freed Aaron Jones and let him get as many carries as possible, but they didn't seem to figure out that until like the very end of last season. Anyway, they're going to use Jacobs as a workhorse. We have a 4-headed monster in this wide receiver room. We have Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, and Dontavian Wicks, a great quarterback in Jordan Love who just got the bag. This offense should be unstoppable. The running lanes should be massive for Josh Jacobs to run through. The offensive line is good enough for him to dominate. Jordan Love is at least somewhat of a rushing threat, so that's going to open up bigger lanes for Josh Jacobs. Look for the yards per carry efficiency this year for Josh Jacobs to be better than it ever has, and he obviously has much higher touchdown upside than he's ever had as well. Next player on my list is going to be Kenneth Walker. Now, I first want to point out that Kenneth Walker has a very easy schedule. This is a guy who you look at last year, although he's not known for being a pass-catching back, and people try to tell you that he's not a good pass-catching back, this dude had 8.9 yards per reception last year. That was 4th in the NFL. So he was almost at the very top of the NFL in yards per reception. So this dude is making plays happen in the passing game. This dude is making plays. Okay. So despite the fact that, there's that narrative that he's not a good pass catching back, it's just absolutely not true. The fact of the matter is, once this dude has the ball in his hands, he might be the most dangerous running back in the NFL, especially in open space. You look at last year, he had a 29% juke rate. This was 1st in the NFL. He led the NFL in juke rate. This is a guy who really can just absolutely just take your head off once he gets past the first line of defense. Once he gets into the secondary, he's just very hard to bring down. He's so incredibly fast, so shifty, so quick in his cuts that he's just a player that you can't really tackle in the open field very easily. So that's why he's got such good big playability. What we do want to see him improve on is his efficiency in between the tackles, in between 1 and 10 yards. That remains to be seen, but the big playability is just second to none with this guy. And all reports are that he's going to handle a massive workload. A lot of people are thinking Charbonnet is going to cut in. I think that Charbonnet is going to get maybe slightly less work than last year. But remember, people were saying that last year as well, that, hey, Charbonnet is going to cut into his workload. He's not the same running back, with Zach Charbonnet in the backfield. And that was not the case. He was the workhorse. He got all the work in the offense. And I very much think that it could just so easily be the same narrative this year with Kenneth Walker, just getting pretty much all the work in this backfield. Even if Charbonnet cuts in a little bit, Kenneth Walker will be involved in the passing game. His pass catching efficiency was way too good last year for him not to be. Next and final player on my list here that I have is Raheem Mostert. Now, this is a guy who I don't understand his ADP being so low. Last year, he led the league in touchdowns. This dude had 21 touchdowns last season being in a split backfield. Now, obviously, there's a ton of hype regarding Devon Achane, and very much deserved because Devon Achane went off as well. I mean, this offense was obviously super explosive, but Raheem Mostert has not even yet lost his starting spot. Guess who the running back one is in this backfield on the depth chart, and who the starter is, who's probably going to handle the majority of the carries? It's Raheem Mostert, right? So the fact that these guys are going like 6 rounds apart in draft baffles me. I mean, Devon Achane going around 2, Raheem Mostert going around 8. What the heck are we doing here? It doesn't make any sense. And Raheem Mostert is just as explosive as Devon Achane. Obviously, he's a lot older, but this dude has not lost a step. You watched him last year when he got past the first line of defense and into the secondary. Nobody can catch him. This dude is one of the fastest players in the NFL. He's part of this track and field offense that nobody can stop. They're always setting guys in motion, creating wide open lanes for their running backs to run through. This is a guy who's going to absolutely explode this season. Yet again, I love him. I don't care if he's older. This dude does not have tread on the tires like other 32-year-old running backs because, well, he had a lot of injuries early on, and he didn't handle as much of a workload in his 20s because, well, he wasn't really on the field all the time. He had a full healthy season last year. Let's look for him to repeat it this year with less tread on the tires than most running backs his age. Look for Raheem Mostert to absolutely explode. This dude last year, you look at his breakaway run rate, 6.7% breakaway run rate on 14 breakaway runs. Breakaway runs are runs of 15 yards or more. That means that he averaged a run of 15 yards or more almost every single week of the season. That is absolutely crazy efficiency. We know that the touchdown upside is freakishly high for this dude. He's still the starting running back in the backfield. This dude is an absolute must-own running back at his ADP. All right, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. And remember to sign up for the Patreon. I'm going to give you my exclusive content all season long. Break down your fantasy football team from, week to week lineup setting and trades, everything like that. All right. Appreciate it, guys. Catch you later.